I'm with Azmi Jabali and the Lexington Community Garden. And Azmi, this is one heck of a garden. And you actually have a whole regular job at a cafe, a restaurant.
Yes, ma'am. I own a restaurant called the Mediterranean Cafe. This farming idea started as a hobby, and then I incorporated it with the restaurant as a farm-to-table way of doing business.
You grew up on a farm in Israel, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Came here and studied and have done a variety of things. And obviously that need to have your hands in the dirt was strong.
I always had this in my blood, and it's the best thing I enjoy it the most. I always enjoyed farming and gardening, and I'm so happy. I'm always happy when I'm here.
Y'all have a massive amount of produce coming out of this garden and help people who might need food. How do you distribute it?
Yeah, so a friend of mine, Scotty Mill, and his wife Susan had the idea of a non-profit organization, a community garden, and they needed help with that, with the growing part of it. And so this is our third year actually. We produce so much and we distribute it through the churches, ministries, the police department sometimes. Wherever we can help, we do that.
It's a lot just to pick. I think you got some help.
We do have some help. We have the Tyler family, Charles Tyler and his family from Sally.
Yes.
And they're very generous. They're always here helping. And if it wasn't for them, really, we could not do all this work.
He was a nice fellow. I enjoyed meeting him. And the variety that's here is just stunning. And this is a small part. You have several fields, but in this one, you've got a really good head start on everything. And it's interesting to think of using okra and corn in the Mediterranean dishes, but you said you found ways to incorporate everything.
Yes, okra is very popular in the Middle East and in the Mediterranean area anyway. So that was an easy dish for us or vegetables to handle.
It's pretty easy to serve fried okras to Southerners, isn't it? But then peppers, eggplant, squash, and
cucumbers.
Watermelons,
cantaloupes, potatoes, beans. We got it all.
You sure do. And we saw nice pollinators out here.
Yes, ma'am.
And one of the things, we are on that sandy Lexington County soil, and you are very conservative with water.
Yes, ma'am. We use drip irrigation. It uses a whole lot less water, and it increases the production actually as compared to the sprinkler or flooding or any other method.
And helps with diseases as well.
Exactly, and prevent the weeds. You have less weeds to deal with, and you apply the water to the plant. And we also have the luxury of applying the fertilizer through the drip irrigation. So we don't have to have spreaders or anything else like that, and waste of fertilizer. We use about 1/3 of what we're supposed to use in a conventional way.
And so that protects groundwater and runoff and helps with all those problems that sometimes happens with over-fertilization.
Yes, ma'am.
And then to get an early start, you'll start on black plastic, I believe.
So early in the year, in the early spring, our mulch, we call it plastic mulch, which holds the moisture and also create heat. It keeps the ground warm enough. Mm-hmm. And it stimulates the growth and speed the plants. Once we hit May, the middle of May, we switch to, the plastic has two sides, black and white. We switch on if we're planting something new, we use the white side, which reflects the light toward the plant, and the plant will consume that light and to grow, because plants need light, and it keeps the ground cool. And prevents the weeds at the same time.
Yes, and so you'll be harvesting these summer crops because you keep planting, and we never know when we're going to get a freeze in South Carolina right now.
No.
So it's a long growing season for you.
So most crops you can plant up to July 10, 15, and you will not have the risk of getting frost. Otherwise, after that, there are some crops that you can grow, like leaves and greens and leafy
Sure.
greens, and colors, scale.
And you do that as well.
We do that too.
But then a greenhouse, and your customers and the wonderful people with whom your friends help distribute the produce are having tomatoes in the wintertime. I was blown away.
So the greenhouse was my idea because we wanted to find a way to have continuous supply.
Yes.
Or almost continuous supply. So it's been a good experience. We've been successful with it, and as you saw, we have some nice plants there, nice tomatoes, nice yield too. So
Tremendous yield, and you've got determinate, indeterminate, and then you've got the English cucumbers. And I said you've started having tomatoes how early?
we around January we'll have tomatoes in
Isn't it?
January.
Yeah, big red juicy
Yes.
slicing tomatoes. That is quite an accomplishment.
And we grow in plastic bags. We don't grow it directly in the ground.
Yes.
It's in plastic bags with peat moss and drip irrigation again.
Again, being very conservative of water and fertilizer. Stunning to see that you were able to, in that small bag, get that massive production of tomatoes.
It's a continuous feeding.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what it is.
So even though you have this wonderful old-fashioned farm mall tractor, this is one heck of a modernized situation, isn't it?
Yes, I have a hobby. I like equipment, and I like to do mechanical work. And during the winter time, when it's slow, a project like this will be really nice to have around the house.
As if you didn't have enough going on with your cafe.
So, and the wife keeps coming to the shop. When are you coming inside? When are you coming inside?
Well, I am very excited to go over to the cafe and see how you incorporate some of this wonderful produce in your menu.
Let's go do that.
Okay. Osmi, after a meal like that, I feel like I need a good snooze. What a delicious feast we've had with you. And we started with a good many appetizers, and I think they're considered traditional. So let's talk about what some of them were.
One of the appetizers was the fried eggplant appetizer. We take eggplant, slice it about a third of an inch thick, and we saute it either with olive oil, or you can deep fry it, and then
But you did not coat it. It was.
It's not breaded.
Uh-huh.
And then we top it with tomatoes, basil, garlic, lemon juice,
Yes.
and a little bit salt. And,
It was
and served with
just
pita bread.
wonderfully refreshing.
And the second appetizer was the bruschetta, which is roasted pita bread topped with tomatoes, basil, garlic, olive oil, balsamic vinaigrette, and a touch of salt.
But as a child growing up in Israel, your grandparents farmed, and you said that really just vegetables cooked rather simply were the main way that y'all ate most of the time. Is that correct?
That's correct. Our diet is high in vegetables, and I was fortunate to grow up on a farm. My grandparents were farmers, and my daddy, after he retired from his job, he moved to the farm. So we have good connection to the land, and we always enjoyed what we have on the farm. Actually, people used to get jealous of us. So we always had the freshest, the best looking vegetables, and that's how we use that in our diet and with our cooking.
And in front of us, we have two examples of vegetables being used as a way that people order when they come to the restaurant.
This is our tomato mozzarella appetizer. It's fresh tomatoes topped with mozzarella cheese and olives, olive oil, balsamic vinaigrette and served with a pita bread.
And then I saw the new little basil coming up in the greenhouse today when I was out there.
Yes, and I'll be planting those smaller ones too in the field too soon.
And so here we have grilled vegetables that just look delicious.
Yes, this is our most popular dish during lunchtime, and it's basically a grilled chicken breast with grilled vegetables. We bring most of these vegetables from the farm. Squash, zucchini, onions, tomatoes, and peppers.
And always some parsley and basil on top of everything.
That's for garnish, yes.
Oh, but it's also for freshness. Don't you
Yes,
like that
yes,
fresh
yes.
taste that leaves in your mouth?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think everything that went in my mouth today was absolutely delicious. And I want to thank you for being part of the Farm to Table movement and reminding people that things that are grown locally really are outstanding in flavor, and it helps the farmers and it helps the Lexington Community Garden, which does such a wonderful job providing food to people who are in need. Thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you for having us.